Happy Monday evening, Buckeye Scoop family, Buckeye Nation. I am glad to be back from a great weekend in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to, tell you how my trip was, my review, and all that stuff. But before we get into anything, please take a second, hit that like button. All right, that little thumbs up, punch that, slap that, kick that. If you have not subscribed to Buckeye Scoop, click that subscription button and then click the bell so that you get notifications whenever we go live. All right. Also, we'll be talking about the game. We haven't had a chance to talk about the game. Me and Dev were traveling. I'm gonna get into that too. Nevada backstage. I'm gonna talk about. I hate traveling, like the actual traveling part. It's annoying to me, but I'll get into that. So I haven't had a chance to react outside of the post game in Madison, but we're gonna talk about the game and we're gonna give some mid-season grades. Man, it's improvement week, aka formerly known as bye week. So we're going to definitely give our midseason grades. Also, remember, when you send those wonderful super chats that I'm looking forward to because you guys are so great at it, remember, it helps to go towards the pay it forward and the first responders, which is the military and first responders, I should say. We're going to take care of them because they always take care of us. Nevada Buck, man. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's good to see. I had this vision of you and Devin like planes, trains, and automobiles coming back home or something like that. There, I heard that there was like flight delays and everything like that. So I figured you guys were like in the back of some U-Haul waiting back to come coming on back to Columbus or something. But I'm glad you made it back. I'm glad you're safe and your belly's full of cheese curds and everything else like that. You're ready to report on your trip to Wisconsin, enemy territory. You made it back alive.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, first of all, I don't travel that much. Okay, I don't fly often. I've flown several times in my life, but I just don't travel a ton. So Chicago O'Hare Airport, I mean, this is not breaking news. It's just a zoo. It's a zoo. Okay. I know y'all know that. It's like duh for those who travel, but it was just like, how does anybody do this every week? There's people who do this every week. Is crazy. And yeah, I had like 3 delays, Nevada, like
Oh
three.
no.
And
Oh
so
no.
I was ready to get to the crib. I was tired. We had to get up super early to get to the airport. So, but that traveling part is just like, I wish I could just snap my fingers and be in my destination, but obviously that's not possible. But you mentioned cheese curds. So listen, I have to publicly repent to Nevada for downplaying and poo-pooing the cheese curds. Okay. So we went to this spot. I'm about to share my screen real quick. I forget the name of the wing spot. Dev, if you out there, bro, help me out. But it was on campus. And I got, what? I was like, man, just let me get the cheese curds. Really, really good, Nevada. Like, because my only measuring stick was Culver's here
Yeah,
in Columbus,
yeah.
Ohio. I like Culver's. Culver's is a good burger place, but the cheese curds ain't it compared to these. These was like wow, they weren't as chewy. They were fresh. I mean, like dipped them in some ranch. They were really really good, man. So forgive me for poo pooing the cheese curds in Madison, Wisconsin. They were legit, Nevada.
Well, now, how was the people? How were the people at the game? Were they nice to you guys? Were they subdued? Were there angry Badgers? Were they nice before the game, after the game? I just kind of want the feeling of the vibe because my last experience, the last time I ever was going to go, the last time I will ever go was 2003. And let's just say they were not very nice to visiting fans. And even little young Buckeyes, they were mean as can be to them. So, how did they treat B Moses and Devin?
Man, listen, they treated us like kings in the sense that they were very docile Badgers. They were very white flaggy Badgers.
Yeah,
They
yeah, I'm
were they were
sure.
very please don't hurt us Badgers. I mean,
Yeah.
we walked through freely, no nothing, no angst, no hostility, no beef, nothing. And so we were right there in front of a frat house. I don't know if you caught the pregame. We did like a pregame and I'm gonna post it. We're gonna post short clips for YouTube, like the shorts. But we went up to the Badger fans in their little frat house. They had a dunk tank, Nevada. It said "Dunk Luke Fickle," right?
Oh, oh,
Um, they had people with bags over their heads. They're down bad, Nevada. So we were walking around with our Buckeye gear on, and it's just like you know what I'm saying? And so they were nice to us. They were very nice. They were very accommodating. There was nothing stupid. It was a couple that was just said something, but 98% of them were great. And we had fun. Devin threw the ball, hit the dunk tank, dunked one of the dudes. I threw the ball around with this little kid, out there. I mean, we had fun, man. I enjoyed myself. Madison is a beautiful college town. And listen, the tier is Columbus. I'm born and raised here. Y'all know that. I've seen the development of campus in my life here. Our campus is second to none because we still maintain the college town vibe on campus within a big city. But Madison is a very nice college town. I'll give that to them. Beautiful lakes. They got a really good college strip with the bars and restaurants. Their fans love their team. I mean, I was impressed with the college town about it.
Well, it sounds like they've just kind of capitulated. So they've just kind of given up now. So there's no fight left in the Wisconsin people. Yeah. So I mean, how long to give the over under on how long till Luke Fickell's fired?
I mean, my thing is, I don't know, because what's the benefit of keeping him right now? Are you going to try to do like a Penn State and get out in front of the coaching search to get your candidates? Do they already have someone in mind that's available at the end of the season?
Well, they don't want to. They don't want to give up on the season. You know what I'm saying? Because they've still got playoff aspirations and national championship hopes.
Playoffs,
right? Playoffs.
They got tax slayer bowl.
No, there's no chance. They can't make a bowl, can they?
No, I mean, I could pull up their schedule, but what are they? 2 wins? They got 2 wins, right?
I don't think they're going to score again this year. I think you could get like an over/under on like less than 10 points in the rest of the season or something like that. I mean, they're just miserable. They might be the worst offensive team that I've ever seen play. Seriously, I mean they're bad.
At Oregon next.
Oh my goodness.
They're at Oregon, Washington, at Indiana, Illinois, at Minnesota. Good Lord.
There's not winning any of those games.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
So I don't know why what's the point of keeping him? I guess unless you just don't have a candidate and you're just like, hey, I don't know. Is that Barry Alvarez still alive?
He is still alive.
I don't know, man. I mean, listen, it was a beautiful city. The weather was perfect. It was a great experience. But a part of me was like, man, I really didn't get to see them at their height. I didn't get to, be in the hostility of the crowd. I mean, it was nothing like that. It was just like, we're here to kill you, but we just don't know how bad we're going to kill you. So we're just curious to see how that happens. And so great time, but boy, oh boy, they were beat dogs. They were like Theon Greyjoy turned Tariq after,
I'm Reek.
Yeah. Ramsey Bolton got a hold of him. So yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't want to put like a negative damper, but it is what it is. It was what it was. But me and Dev definitely had a good time. First time meeting Dev in person. It was dope, and we did our thing, and it was great, man. But yeah, poor Badgers. They're down bad.
So what do you think of the game? What do you think of the game? What do you think of the game plan? Give us because you and I haven't had a chance to talk, so I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are.
Yeah, so Dev asked me in the pregame what I thought we were going to do if we were going to come out, conservative and 16 personnel. I'm exaggerating. But I said, no, I think we're going to come out and pass the ball. We're going to let Sayin pass. Wisconsin has a good front. I mean, their defense isn't awful. Their defense is respectable, especially their front. So I figured we'd come out and pass, and that's exactly what we did. I was very happy about that. Now, I rewatched the game. And I know people were really, really hurting about the run game, but you know how you watch the game again and something is either not as good or not as bad? There were definitely some bad moments in the run game, but overall, it didn't feel as bad rewatching on TV as it felt in the stadium. And so I love the fact that they let Sayin come out and throw on the road. To me, it's showing more trust because some people say, well, it's just Wisconsin. Well, it's Wisconsin's offense. That's really the issue. Their defense is serviceable. If they had a decent offense, y'all, they might be a 500 team, right? Nevada, would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, defensively, they're not the worst team you've ever seen. I know, I totally agree with that. And I look, I love the fact that they're clearly embracing the fact that we are a pass first team. We are,
Yeah.
I mean, if Ryan Day is kind of accepting the fact that you can pass to set up the run, and that was not just like a few passes. I mean, what did he throw, like the first 12 plays in a row or something for all
Yeah.
passes? And like you can run a controlled passing game. You can run, quick outs, little outlets to the running backs, flares to the tight end. You don't have to be like throwing it that far down the field. Although Julian Saint's, certainly perfectly capable of doing that. But if teams want to play off and wonder if we're patient enough to do that, well, we are, and he's accurate
Yeah.
enough to do it. And I think that's got to be the identity of the team going forward, because what you're concerned about is the passing game. And this is one thing I haven't heard a lot of people talk about, but I think it's an important point to make. What you worry about as a passing team is, well, what happens if you're passing and the weather turns on? You know what I'm saying? And you
Right.
can't pass the football. Well, we're not past that point, but we're getting there. And then once you get past the 12th game, we're into game 7 now or whatever it is. Um, all the games from that point on are all domes. It's
Yeah.
Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship game, and then bowl game settings all the way to the national championship. So we're going to be in 70-degree perfect weather, artificial. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think passing teams have an advantage over running teams at that point, because you're going to get perfect weather, a perfect high skill. It's going to it's going to skew towards high skill teams. And nobody's got more skill than Ohio State. Nobody's got a more accurate passer than Julian Sayin. Nobody's got better wide receivers than Carnell Tate and JJ.
Mm.
So if we could avoid the next few weeks, the bad, the 36-mile-an-hour winds, or the, trench, even though I think that, Julian will, certainly be able to throw in any type of rain condition. When the games start really counting, it's going to be perfect weather. That really inures to the benefit of a passing team, and nobody passes it better than Ohio State. So I really think we're going to have an advantage come playoff time.
No, those are great points. Great points. And let me add this with the run game. There was and I made notes. There was maybe I would say 3 or 4 plays that was just like, oh goodness. But you could see what happened on the plays. Like, for example, there was one play I took notes on where at the 7:45 mark in the second quarter, it was third and short. And it was CJ Donaldson, the one back. It was 12 personnel, Kazmarek on the right side, and Nate Roberts coming in motion from the slot to block up the middle, something that we do often. Well, Nate Roberts completely whiffed. He blocked no one, number one. And then number 68 for Wisconsin slices right in and just easily beats Tegra, which is starting to be a recurring theme, unfortunately, with Tegra, and just blows up the play. If that doesn't happen, the hole was there. He picks up the 2 yards. So it's when you look at each play, you can really see like there's just problems, there's things. And Padilla got some I looked at the snap count, 26 snaps to Tegra's 44. And even your boy LaCharles Bentley said something about Padilla. He said, curious the impact Josh Padilla would have on OSU's O-line if provided more reps. He reminds me of a young Pat Elflein from the center left tackle, great chemistry, and they're playing at a high level. Daniels Young brings the right mentality that's been missing, future star. So I think there's something brewing there, Nevada, but also because this is my flip side take of the bad stuff we saw at the O-line, is that Isaiah West, I think he really showed he's here now. Like it's he's going to be in the mix. You have to. After that first carry where because we've been saying this, y'all. There's 3 things in Nevada that we've been telling them that is causing the run game to sputter. One is the O-line inconsistency. Mainly, we point to the right side, but just inconsistency in the run at times. 2, predictable play calling does not help. And 3, the back's not always seeing it. Okay, they're not seeing it, meaning they're not patient enough. They don't have the vision. It's just not clicking. Isaiah West showed on his first carry that he saw it. Not only does he have good vision, he gets north quick. He's very hard to bring down. He breaks tackles, and it's not always a flashy tackle breaking. Like I noticed with him, when arms are reaching to him, it's almost like he puts his body to the side to keep falling forward. He's a very crafty back. He's not a speedster, but he will get through the hole and pick up yards, and he sees it. So with this bye week, with bringing Padilla in there, they're going to get this together. And so I saw some good things on that last drive, Nevada, where they scored. That shows they ended the run game issues on a good note, on a better note than we saw in that game. So anyway, I wanted to mention that, and you can respond for sure. But Isaiah West, to me, he's the second most natural back on the team as far as just natural running back abilities.
Yeah, well, I mean, uh, it's hard to argue with that. It's hard to argue with that. It's hard to argue with the fact that Padilla certainly looks like a guy that should be getting more snaps, and whether it's all the snaps or whether it's half the snaps like they did last year, with Tegra and with Luke Montgomery at that point. But I think he's got to get more action in there because
Yeah.
I like what he can bring, and I think Tegra really is kind of a liability um, from time to time. From when he's on, but Moy, you know, he he's inconsistent, and I think for Ohio State, if you look at the positions where they've got to get more production, it's running back, it's right guard, and it's the third wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the spots that we need to get better at, and I think for the good news is you're seeing Ohio State make some moves in all those spots in terms of doing so. They're not sitting on their laurels. They're not ignoring the issue. They're not,
Right.
they're doing it. And Josh Padilla, this has been a steady build with him where he's going from you know no snaps at all to 26 is a lot of snaps. That's a lot of snaps. That thing's
Yeah.
starting to narrow. So, helping technician had called us a few weeks ago. He believes that Padilla's the future there. So let's see. I mean, I think it's got to be that. And I mean, I am not giving up on James Peoples. But he clearly has a confidence problem right now.
Yeah.
And when you have a confidence problem, and then you also have a protection issue where he, nearly got Julian killed because didn't do, wasn't blocking. Um, that's just a bad. The only thing worse would be if he was a fumbler on top of that. So. I think Ohio State needs to, they need to make some improvements in that. But I do like the fact that Ryan seems to be recognizing it. And I agree with you about the run game. I wasn't as concerned about the run game. I mean, the run game's is something to me,
Yeah.
but when you can pass as well as we can, I mean, I know this is going to sound sacrilegious, but I'm going to say it anyway. If we passed for 500 yards and ran for zero, I don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing magical to me about number of rushing yards. I mean, to me, it's just like win the surest way. And the surest way, I mean, you've got a quarterback that completes 80% of his passes, an
Wow.
offensive line that's really proficient at pass blocking, and wide receivers that can't be covered. So lean into that. And the good news is that's what Ryan Day's doing. So I think the passing game is going to become even more important as we move through these important games to the playoff, to the Big Ten championship, all the way to the national championship. And I think we're embracing the fact that they trust Julian Sayin. They can throw the ball. They're willing to throw the ball at any point in the field. And I think that bodes really well for Ohio State. Running the table and finishing as back-to-back national champions.
Absolutely. And I'll pull it up the Julian Sayin stats right now. So check this out. Only Ohio State QB in last 30 seasons with multiple games of 85% completion percentage, 300 plus pass yards, three plus pass TD, and zero interceptions. But people still try to downplay this, like, oh, they haven't played anybody. I mean, you can't downplay this. Well, we're not saying he's crowned him now as the greatest QB of all time, but this is definitely a something, like you say, right, Nevada? I mean, how can you just dismiss that?
Well, you can't, and for funsies, I've talked about what if those stats were Arch Manning's, or what if those
Right.
stats for Bryce Underwood or something like that? I mean, it would be the end of days. It would be the, all we would see would be correct. I saw a commercial during Monday. I was watching Monday Football before I got on, and it was for like Vori or whatever the heck it was, like some hoodie company or something. And they had Arch Manning doing the commercial. I'm like, oh, that must have been booked before the before the season.
Definitely,
But
definitely booked
you
before.
know, but can you imagine if Arch Manning was completing 80% of his passes and playing like Julian Sayin? And the fact that Julian Sayin has freshman eligibility at Ohio State, I mean, and you're starting to see his legs. I've been telling you all
Yeah.
along. I watched Julian run in high school. Julian can run, and he's not afraid. He's not afraid of getting a hit. He's really good on the quarterback sneak, and he's got pocket presence, man. There were about 5 plays where Kyle McCord, bless his heart, not meaning to stay on it, but would have taken sacks last
Yep.
week against Minnesota. There's no question about it. And he was able to, you know, dance around, evade the pressure, make the plays, and that's what you need to have. You need to have a quarterback that they don't need to be Lamar Jackson. They just need to be, quick enough to avoid, putting yourself in bad slots like that. And he's really good at it. And I think it's one of the best parts of his game. And I think people they don't have any idea how good of a runner and how mobile Julian Saint can be. But he's quick and he's athletic as heck, and I like that aspect of his game.
Yeah, definitely. Real quick, shout out to Frank Soner. Happy 50th birthday, brother. We appreciate you here at the Buckeye Scoop. 50 is a big deal. So, very, very happy to have you here with the Scoop family, and happy birthday to you. But yes, I wanted to say in response to that, I was talking to my guy, Dewan, about that very thing. He was asking me about my in person take on Julian Sayin. And I was saying that I was impressed with his pocket presence in person. You know what I'm saying? It's a different animal. We had great seats, by the way, great seats. So we're right there in the 50-yard line, elevated enough to see the whole field. And with the chaos around him and the pressure, I was so impressed with how cool and calm he was, keeping his feet chopping, eyes downfield, moving up in the pocket and throwing darts. Seeing that in person was just like, yo, this kid is nice, man. He's like really good. And so, yeah, I have to agree with you, man. He's just been so poo-pooed and slept on. I'm just like, when are you going to admit that he's actually really good? Talking to the haters. But yeah, he was super impressive. That throw to Brandon Ennis was just amazing on the run too. And shout out to Brandon Ennis for getting his first TD. Congratulations, young man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what the current odds are for the Heisman, but I mean, if Julian Sayin isn't, I mean, I don't believe he is the front runner, but he should be.
He's
I mean,
third, I
he's
think,
he's
maybe.
third right now. Yeah, I mean, just I just think he's criminally being overlooked, and people want to write him off because of the schedule or because this. I guess maybe they think he's a system quarterback, or I don't. I'm not sure what they can say. He's a freshman. He's a freaking freshman that's
Right.
coming. Forget, oh, he's a redshirt, but he's got freshman. He's never played a game before. Came in and he's just lighting fools up, man. And like they clearly, you trust him to throw the ball, and I love it. And I looked at him when he come in, thinking that how great he'd be at Ohio State, but he's even better than I thought he would be. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just remarkable, and just a heck of a player, just a heck of a player. And I think for Ohio State now, I think there are running game concepts and there's things that you can do. I mean, look, that one time when he kept the ball on that one play and he went for
Yeah.
like 8 or 9 yards, like he can do that. And that's the kind of stuff you have to just show it. So they have
Yeah.
to respect it. And he's not afraid. I mean, Julian is not afraid, I can tell you that. So no, I like every part of his game. I like the way that they attacked. Defensively, it's hard to really get too worked up about what they did just because one, we've become I saw a stat where I think it's true. We haven't given up a first half touchdown all season.
Yeah.
I
That's true.
I mean, which is kind of an insane stat. You know what I'm saying? Um, Again, it's hard to get a read against a team like Wisconsin because Wisconsin, I think their best offensive play of the thing was that fake punt where they ran on the fourth and
Oh
16
yeah.
or whatever. That was semi infuriating. But no, I think for Ohio State, you know, just the bye week. I hate bye weeks. The Penn State game. It sounded before like the bye week, but the good news is we have. I don't care how easy the games have been. We've had 2 games in a row on the road,
Yeah.
and those are behind us now. We talked about those losable games at the beginning of the season. Um, Before we knew how bad Wisconsin was, and at Illinois, at Wisconsin was looking like a pretty terrifying, part of the schedule right there. And
Right.
and then going into after that to have to play Penn State. Now it's kind of funny how the worms turned on that for sure. But how did the defense look to you? There in person, did anything? Because one thing about being there in person that's better than TV is you can see the whole field. You can see the whole field. You can see Was there anything that stood out to you when you were watching that, or was it just utter domination from beginning to end?
Utter domination. I mean, the secondary is so well coached. Not a lot of, it's like you could tell they're confident they know what they're doing. You see them executing their assignments, nobody open. But I tell you what, your boy McDonald in person is an absolute monster. I mean, you just see him wrecking the line. It's just ridiculous. Also, Tylo Malone. I mean, I gave him his flowers the other day, but I love that he has his confidence now. Shoot, he might have got a little bit of that Bruce Leroy glow from Ryan Day and just said, "Give me some of that," because he went from shaky to is he ever going to really help to just getting better and better and better. But the defense just looks amazing, and it's like anything Wisconsin did get, they had to work super hard to get it. And so, but again, the back end, because it's harder on TV to see the back end, like on every play, because this camera is focused on the line of scrimmage. To see the organization and the well coached flow of their assignments, when the safety drops back, or when they rotate over or whatever, it's just so clean. And so, I mean, but again, it was like clubbing a baby seal defensively. So you know what I'm saying? It was just like, but it was nice to see in person.
Yeah, no, yeah, Caden's definitely played himself into. The thing he wasn't even a starter a year ago, and now he's probably a first round draft pick. I think that's if Tyleek can be a first round draft pick, I think Caden's every bit the player. And I'm the biggest Tyleek Williams fan in the world, but
Yeah,
Caden's equally disruptive, and he's built differently for sure. So no, I think the defense is just taking another step. Like I said, it was hard to get a real measure on it because Wisconsin, they didn't have any respect for Wisconsin's passing game. They
right.
don't have the big hogs they used to up on the line. They don't, have great running backs and able to do the different things like that. So it was really, really difficult to kind of figure it out. But I just think that when you're looking at the whole thing, this is a nice segue for us to get into our grades, because now we've got half the season
Yeah.
kind of under that, and we can start talking about grading the different position groups now that you've had a chance to not only watch them on television but watch them. That's twice in person. You've got a chance to watch them right there. So
Yeah.
let's why don't we start on the defense? Let's start with the defensive line. How do you grade the defensive line?
Now we were doing like letter grades, right? Last time.
Correct.
Yeah. So defensive line. Ooh, I'm gonna give them an A. Nobody can run the ball on us. I remember against Texas, they had a few runs. Remember they had a few runs that was okay, and there was some concern. Like, well, we got to do better against the run. Well, we're doing better against the run. You're not going to run the ball on us. And so the only reason I don't give them an A plus is because I would like to see more pressure when we're not when we're not, bringing more than four, or when we're blitzing. And I think that will come more and more. That sack by Kenyatta, I mean, he's getting more and more confident. Obviously, Caden Curry has done some things, but I want to see that turned up, because when we do sit back and allow and kind of, play coverage, I want to be able to get some more heat on the quarterback when we do that. So I say A for D line. What you got? Nevada, you there, brother? Up. Have to bring him back. He'll be back shortly, but Yeah, that's me nitpicking, but I mean the D line. Think about it. The D line was the maligned group coming into the season. The D line, Nevada, you back?
I am back.
All right.
So you
Did you hear
you
that?
gave an A. Yeah, I'm going to give an
Yeah.
A minus. I'm going to give an A
Okay.
minus on the defensive line, just because of the pressure, the lack thereof of pressure.
Hmm.
Interestingly enough, statistically, again, another thing. You look at the great year that Chase Young had. I believe it was 2019, and you look
Yeah.
at his stats compared to Caden Curry. It's pretty similar. Pretty similar
Didn't know
numbers.
that. I did not
Yeah,
know that.
yeah, I mean that's the kind of year Caden Curry's having, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I can't go to the A just because if we started winning a few more battles up front, but that Kenyatta sack, that's the kind of stuff I want to see more of. I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
We need to bring better pressure with four. Against the
Right.
run, we've been stingy, doing a good job. Definitely no worse than an A minus. I certainly could have gotten an A, but I'm going to go A minus on the defensive line.
Got you. And real quick, let me show this stat. Only 41 points, fewest points allowed by an FBS team through 7 games. Since 93, 5.8 points per game. Just wanted to show you that real quick as we're talking about the defense. But yeah, we can move on unless you want to say something about that.
No, I mean that's just. I mean undoubtedly it's going to go higher than that, but
Right.
it's just remarkable performance, and yeah, it's just keep getting better, stay healthy, and let's go.
For sure. All right. What we got next?
You got linebackers. You got the linebackers.
You go first on this one.
I'm going A plus. I'm going to A
Mm,
plus. I mean, I think Peyton Pierce has been everything that that you'd want for him to be. I think Sonny Styles has been terrific, and I think Reese has been otherworldly good. Like conversations of the best linebackers to ever play the game at
yeah.
Ohio State. Good. I mean, at least I mean, I think there's a lot of serious people that are having that conversation right now. So I think when you have that, if that doesn't rate an A plus, then I'm not certain what would. But that, yeah, A plus.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to be the contrarian. A plus. And it's mainly because Pierce has really stepped up and been really good. So, because that was my question, is that okay? We see Reese as a dog. We know Sonny. What's Pierce going to do? Pierce has came in there seamlessly, and it's just like he does his job. So, yep, I'm going with A plus on that linebacker room. Agreed.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to get anywhere else. What about the defensive secondary?
I'm going to go with A. I'm curious to see if we're going to return back to Low Styles starting when he gets back from injury, or are we going to stick with Sanchez? What do you think? I'm going with A, but I really want to know what you think on this here.
I think you get your job. I don't think you can lose your job to injury. I don't think you can lose your job to injury. I think Low Styles has got to get the job when he comes back. I think Devin's been good, but it's not like he's been so good that
Yeah.
we couldn't pull him off the field. And as for the grade, I give him an A as well. I give him
Okay.
an A. So we've got an A plus, and an A minus, and an overall. I guess we're gonna go with an overall grade of an A. But I mean,
Yep.
like when we're talking about historical great defense, I mean, so far, when you have to go back to '93 to find a defense I mean,
That's
how are we
pretty
not
darn good.
how are we not A plus for the defense? You know what I'm
Us
saying?
nitpicking, nitpicking.
Yeah, because we're Ohio State fans. I guess that's what we do, right?
Yep. But I guess also to Ryan Day's point, because he always deflects and say, "Well, let's see how we are at the end of the season. We'll see how we finish." But right now, A plus, and we'll just say A to be nitpicky.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I think the captain obvious thing is let's see how they do at the end of the year and in the
Right.
big games. Yeah, nobody's spiking the football and declaring victory yet, but the early returns are certainly good defensively.
Absolutely.
Okay, now let's go to the offense. Now let's go offensive
Mm,
line. I'm going to go first. I'm going to go on the offensive line. I'm going to give the offensive line a B plus. I'm going to give 'em a B plus because I think they've been outstanding protecting the quarterback. Like I think we got the fewest sacks in college
Yeah.
football, despite throwing. We throw a lot, and their teams aren't just able to get free rushers on it, um, but struggling mightily running the ball. So I can't get to an A. Um, I mean, I'm at a B. I'm at a B plus for the. I'm at a B plus for the offensive line just because our offensive line are running just all the reasons we talked about. Not all are blamed at the offensive line, but as bad as we are running the ball right now, I just can't get the A minus for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with B plus as well. I think you're right. I mean, they're there. They have a chance to get to an A. We got to clean up this run game. They've been really good in pass pro, and so yeah, I'll go with B plus. I was close to saying A minus, but I'm gonna go with B plus. I agree.
Yeah, no, I wanted to get there because I think they're one of the best lines in the country. And I really do believe they should be up for national awards. Let's put it this way: I have not seen an offensive line. I've watched a lot of college football. I'll bury the lead on this already. Ohio State's the best team in the country by far, and there's not really, I mean, we're gonna find out how good Indiana is here in a bit.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't think there's a better offensive line in the country than Ohio State's either. So and maybe that's why they deserve it, the A minus, but I just can't get there. I'm gonna go B plus.
I agree.
Running backs, where are you on the running backs?
Um, I'm going to go C plus on the running backs because Bo Jackson can't overcome. CJ Donaldson is fine. I don't think he's trash. He's fine. He does what he does. Um, when we're not predictable, he can get you 7, 8 yards off tackle. He'll punch it in more than often than not. Peoples is still trying to find his confidence. Isaiah West coming on here is going to be helpful, in my opinion. So I'm going to go C plus overall for the room.
Yeah, I'm gonna go C. I'm gonna go C, but I understand why you went C plus, but I'm gonna go C. I think it's average. It's just been
Yeah,
it's been an average group all year long, and I think it's one of the things that's probably most disappointing for Ohio State, just because it's not like you can't find running backs in the portal, or you can't find recruit. I mean, there's great running backs all over the country. Um, we should never be average in the running back. It's been a long time since we've been average in the running back
yeah,
room, but I think
true.
that's where we're at. I think we're average in the running back room, and that doesn't mean we can't improve. That doesn't mean we can't get better. That doesn't mean we don't believe in these guys. But I think a fair first half grade for the running backs is the C or C plus. I don't know how to get to any other grade.
I mean, and to be fair, people, they can get better. This is mid-season. Isaiah West coming in, Bo Jackson getting more reps. I think they're on their way up. And also with cleaning up the predictable play calling and the O-line play, all of that will come together. They can definitely ascend. But right now, because of the clunkiness, yeah, just kind of giving some context behind it. So, yep,
Wide receivers.
A plus. A plus for the wide receivers. And I mean, Carnell Tate is the reason. I mean, Jeremiah Smith is amazing, but what Carnell Tate is doing is just amazing. Now, listen, Ennis got his first TD. He hasn't been getting targeted as much. Claire has been getting those third receiver receptions. But when I think wide receiver room, I think Tate and Jeremiah because they're getting the targets. So I'm going to go A plus because Carnell Tate is just ridiculous right now.
Yeah, I don't know how you can go anything but A plus. I mean, Cornell has clearly. I know I said this on other pods, but this would be one of my bad takes for the year. I thought Cornell was really good before the season,
Yeah.
but he's way better than that. Yeah, I mean, he's way better than really good.
I
So
mean, he just took
yeah,
off, man.
yeah, he just took off. I mean, yeah, I mean, he's every bit the player that JJ is as a college player right now. That doesn't mean he'll be as good as him in the NFL. That doesn't mean, that's not, anything about bad about JJ but I mean, he's amazing. He's an amazing player, makes every catch, makes every tough catch. difficult catch makes him look easy, contested catch. I mean, he does it all. So yeah, I'm yeah, couldn't be more impressed with him, and definitely that room rates an A+ for sure.
Yep. All right, who we got? We said running backs.
We have
Oh,
tight ends.
tight ends. Ooh, their blocking has been very shaky lately, man. And I was very high. We were both very high in this room. Um, I, I'm going to go C+ because Claire has been good receiving the ball, but not that good blocking. Yeah, I'm even tempted to say C, man. Their blocking has to clean up. On that play, Nate Roberts is a freshman, so I'm not going to get after him. He's a freshman. But there was one play where we tried to run off tackle, and it got blew up. Claire got absolutely blew up, and the play got blown up. It's like he doesn't have to be the greatest blocker, but get in front of your man. And so I'm disappointed with the blocking I've seen from the tight end room lately. So I'm gonna go with C+ because the catching ability has made up a little bit for that, Nevada.
I'm gonna go B minus just because of the catching ability and because we have so many guys
Yeah,
that can potentially contribute, but it's certainly not, it's not, it's not an A, it's not some outstanding achievement, but it's certainly and the blocking yeah, it hasn't been great, but um I think the receiving's made up for that. I like the fact that we've
yeah,
got a viable first option type of tight end, type of game. Claire, you're starting to see him get more and more targets, and make more and more catches, and that's going to come in handy as we kind of get down the rest of the season. But no, I think for Ohio State, you're talking about, it's a B- group right now, but it's certainly one that we have high aspirations for and something that could be much better. But they got to get better on the blocking, and the running
yeah.
game's not going to get better until they start doing their job, a little
Yes.
bit more, not a little bit more, a lot more efficiently, and that's really on them.
Yep. Good point. That run game it's a part of it. So they got to clean that up. So, yep.
Okay, then quarterback.
See, a part of me is tempted to. I'm going to go A+, man. I'm sorry. I got to go A+, Nevada. It's just yes, yes, he can continue to get better, and he's still young. But man, he's so impressive, especially after seeing him in person. And he's only in what 7 games in. A+.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he's ridiculous. I mean, I think he's the best quarterback in America, and he's freshman eligible, 7 games in, and he's
Mm,
better than any of these fourth and fifth and 6 year guys. Um, and the future's so bright, and he's like I said, he's so good. Um, Mobile, accurate, can make all the throws, arm talent, got it all. No, got to be an A+ for sure.
yep. Yep. I mean, it's just no arguing with it, I don't think. And he went from, hey, just be a game manager and get the ball to your players and to Heisman consideration. I mean, he deserves it, man. So, yep, we agree. And everybody
Um,
else should too.
Now, what about special teams? Where are you at on the special teams?
Okay, I'm going to go C- for the special teams. It's funny because Dev, if you out there, Dev was on the post game. He kept telling me, "Man, I'm going to go in on fielding." He was so upset with that missed field goal, but then he made a field goal after that. And listen, we had the fake punt blunder where Roker misses an open tackle on a punter. You can't miss an open tackle on a punter as a DB. Um, I don't know. Our special teams just has not been great overall in general. But yeah, C-, man. We got to clean that stuff up. But what you got?
Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna go C. Just I'm gonna be a little bit more generous.
Yeah.
I didn't get the cheese curds that you did, but I'm gonna be a little bit more generous than. But I see why you went C minus. I understand. I think Fielding's been pretty good.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean
been better.
he's been better, and yeah, he missed, but you know what? Guys miss. Nobody's going to make every kick. I watch, you know, Lions kicker missed a field goal tonight. So it's like, these are, and if NFL guys can miss, these college kids certainly can as well. So no, I'm gonna go with a C, and just hope that we, continue to improve, because it's one of those things where you don't really notice the special teams until you need them, and you never notice those kickers until you really need them to make a big kick. And I'm hopeful and confident that Fielding's experience last year in the playoffs is going to serve him well, and that if we need a big kick down the stretch, that he's going to be in a position to provide it for us.
Yep, he does have experience, so I'm definitely hoping that. So what we got for the offense?
Yeah,
A
we
plus
got
for
it's a it,
quarterback.
it's a mixed bag. We got
It
A
is.
plus, uh, what B minus and C minus or C plus. I mean, yeah. So what's your overall for the offense?
Overall for the offense is a B. The run game is holding us back. The passing game is so awesome that we still got a strong B because of the pass game. And so, uh, yeah, it negates the O line issues and the tight end blocking issues, because the tight ends are making up for the receiving, and Julian Sayin and the receivers and the pass pro. So I'm gonna go with B overall.
Yeah, I'm gonna go B plus, just because I think that the passing game is so proficient. I
Yeah,
feel like at any time we could pass from any spot on the field in any condition against any team, and throw it. And it wouldn't bother me at all if we lined up all four downs and just throw the football. I mean, I have that much confidence in our guys to do it. And um, I think running the football should be just strictly something that we do to keep the defense honest, but that we should lean into the fact that, you can win a national championship throwing the football. And if you're
yeah.
ever going to win a national championship throwing the football, it'd be with a quarterback that's completing 80% of his passes, and with two wide receivers named JJ Smith and Carnell Tate. So that's what I would do. I hope Ohio State leans into it, and I'm going to say a B plus overall on the offensive grade.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Cool. Pretty darn good team, 7 games in, and who has not hit their ceiling, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the deficiencies we're pointing out, we got so much time, and we have a maniac coach in a good sense that's going to try his best to get all this stuff cleaned up. And so I'm confident we're going to do that, Nevada.
Yeah. Well, how would you rate the coaches? What's the coaching grade through 7 games?
I give them an A. I give the coaches an A. Because I can't think of, even with the special teams side of it, I give them an A. I think the coaching overall has been good. Hartline, he's still learning, but I think for him being new and being worked in, I think he's still doing an overall good job. And he's also working with Ryan Day. He's also working through the issues as well as a coordinator. And so, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff he wants to call, but it gets blown up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with a solid A. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that rather than picking the nits, I think I just look at the overall thing and kind of go, it has the defense overachieved or underachieved my expectations going the season. It's like clearly they've overachieved,
Yeah.
big time overachieved. And then I look at the offense and kind of go, at the key spot, quarterback, are we better or are we worse than I thought that we'd be? And it's like, we are so much better. And then I look overall, I'm like, and we're 6-0 and undefeated, number one in the country. Like,
Yep.
how can you not be super happy with where we are? And certainly relative to any expectation that I might have had for the season, um, we've overachieved it. So I'm super happy with where we're at. That certainly gets an A grade.
Yep. I agree. I think that's fair. And like I said, we're very spoiled. We're going to call out things that we need that need to be improved, but good Lord, I think we're still the most complete team in the country. And I felt like if we need to run the ball, we'll get it done. We will get it done. I'm confident in that. We got some super chats coming in, and before I get to the first one, let me show this picture to introduce the person that sent the super chat. Where's it at? Is this it? No, that's not it. Give me a second. Here we go. So this is Iowa Buck. We met him at the game. We saw him in the stadium. Great guy, great poster. We had a good time, man. Weather was perfect. Beautiful day in the shoe. Shout out to Iowa Buck. Before I showed the super chat, which is from Iowa Buck. I left the game and kept repeating to myself how special Julian Sayin is. We are spoiled that we have him. He has what was that? Time college great, all-time college great written all over him. Two Heisman, two Natties. Sky is the ceiling. Yeah, bro. See, I mean, we said the same thing. And seeing him in person, Nevada, was a rep. Let me rephrase. Seeing him in person with more games under his belt, because obviously we were there together versus Texas in his first game with sort of the training wheels on him. Not that game. And so seeing him in person, move around in the pocket, throw darts, and just show how savvy he was a revelation, man. So I agree, Iowa Buck. Thanks for the $9.99. Yeah, we were both marveled by how dope he was in person, Nevada.
Yeah, he's super impressive and a guy that he's just going to get better. He's a guy that seems to be improving week to week, and um, and he's a smart kid too. And
Yes.
he's not a kid that's gonna, he understands the whole idea too of number of starts in college. He'll be patient with his NFL future. He's not a guy that's going to rush to the league because he wants to be there right away. And he's a guy he could stay here, the full time. And that's just scary to think about. Like I don't think he's going to be two and done. I think he'll put in at least 3 years as quarterback at Ohio State, and
Mm.
that's just can he be better than 80%? I don't think it's possible to be better than 80%, but I know he'll be a more complete quarterback by the time he's done for sure.
Oh man, if he stays that long, Nevada, he might obliterate records.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, for real. I mean, he's just, and you're right, he's so smart, and that's why people were concerned about his size. And Saban, he's had some big quarterbacks, and I know some of the ones like Tua, and the athleticism. And my point is that he said, forget his lack of size. This kid is smart. He processes well. He's accurate. I mean, I'm so glad that. Thank you, Saban, for retiring early. How about that? How about that?
Yes, we thank you, Saint Nick.
Yes, for the gift. At Sean Rollins, 3231. Thanks for being a Scoop Ultra member for 22 months. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that. Also, D Sonny, thanks for the $4.99. Has Max Clare cemented himself as tight end one? And do you think he will be back next year? Yes, I do. And yes, I do. Nevada?
Yeah, yes, and yes. I think I think short of him having some sort of monster breakout year this year, I think the plan was for him to come back, and I think he's becoming a more complete football player. I mean, he'll get better on the blocking, which is only going to serve him well when he gets to the NFL, and I think he'll return for that magical 2026 season of
Oh, yeah.
JJ's last year, Julian's second year, and him coming back and heaven help people trying to stop us at that point.
Yep, we'll hook him up with a nice little NIL package. Get him some Roosters, sponsors, commercials or something. We'll hook him up. He'll come back another year and improve that draft status, like you said. So yes to both. All right, what a thrill! Thanks for the 999. Let's just hope that the infamous rush yard stat doesn't get in Ryan Day's head on 11:29. We are a pass first team, but if we want the run game to get better, start Padilla and run more gap scheme concepts. I'm not opposed to that. We've shown that like last year, we were better with gap scheme and counter. And I'm going to pat myself on the back. I don't care. In the Michigan game, Nevada, there were 2 runs because I told y'all I was the crazy person who watched that game an ungodly amount of times. And I noticed in the second half, the 2 runs we did have up the middle were counter plays, and they were for good gains, our best gains of the game. And so I was saying in the playoffs, we need to lean on what we do well, which is counter and gap scheme. Now, listen, we have Coach Bo here now. We have other O-line coaches who are here who have been good in the past with zone blocking scheme. I really want to see us be very, very good at that so we can be as multifaceted as possible. With that said, lean on what you do well. And so hopefully that's the case. And yeah, give Padilla some more reps. I think he's earned it. And that last drive, or towards the second half, when we starting to improve with the run game in that Wisconsin game, Padilla was in the game. So I think we maybe found something there with Padilla and Isaiah West as some fixers to help the run game, Nevada.
Yeah, I totally agree with him about the concern about Ryan getting fixating on that whole winning the rushing total thing. And I was really, when I was watching us play against Wisconsin, it just, it seemed to me that this is his way of kind of, you know, exercising those demons. I mean, because I can't remember the last time we started off the game just throwing it that many times. I mean, we threw every play,
Yeah.
and frankly, I think that's what we need to do against Michigan. We have a huge advantage in their defensive secondary is not great. Our wide receivers are great. We pass block. We can punish them throwing. I don't think there's any reason that we should do anything but throw the football. And you know, rushing plays, yeah, if we do it, great. But I think you just let that come to you naturally. We're a pass first team, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think I saw some rhythm in the run game in the second half as well off the RPOs. We have something, we have things to work with on film, y'all. It's not like this. Like the last time the run game was just abysmal to me was like I think it was 2018. We just could not run the ball. This year we've seen things. There's glimpses. There's things. And I know we've been trying things, but we need to take the best of what we do well and start implementing that and leaning into it going forward now. And so that's my hope, along with the pass first concept, and just go from there, man. So I agree with you. All right, Karis, what is up? Thanks for being a Scoop Ultra member. Still on track for 3P. OH Nevada.
I
Yeah, I mean, I can just hear the fans and even the little voice in my head saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," But it's true. I mean, listen, from a kind of stepping back and just looking at it, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. You know what I'm saying? Because we know the stacked team we'll have next year, but we're right in this year. We stay focused. Who would you take? Ohio State or the field? I don't know if people would be so quick to take the field, Nevada.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to take a really good team, and it's going to take us playing a really bad game. And that's that can happen. We've all watched football after that Michigan game last year. I'll never say never in any,
Yeah.
in any circumstance, but we're a really good team, and Ryan seems to be really comfortable in his own skin and pushing all the right buttons. So yeah, I wouldn't bet against us doing that. That's for sure.
Yep, not at all. And I'm going to enjoy it. I mean, now listen, we're in the bye week slash improvement week. Like Nevada said, we hate them. But, we'll spend our time hearing all the pundits and SEC trolls on social media trying to say Ohio State hasn't played anybody and all these accolades and actual ball knowers and film watchers who are saying, hey, this Ohio State team is dope. They should be number one. Never mind what they say. They haven't played anybody. Big Ten is trash. They don't deserve it. That's what we're going to deal with on this bye week. So get ready, get ready, get ready. But guess what? It's not going to change one iota of what happens on the field. And so I'm excited. I'm excited and appreciate what's going on here, y'all. Remember, there were people that were prognosticating multiple losses for this team. A defense that couldn't hold up, a young quarterback who couldn't hold up on the road. I heard all these takes before the season. And so now here we are, and now they're downplaying our opponents because we're beating them and dominating them. That's just how it goes here as a Buckeye fan in college football land. Nevada, any last words on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, by any measure, I mean, the betting line on the regular season win was 10.5. And, frankly, I mean, I wasn't sure if we were going to go 11 or 12 wins in the regular season. It's just I thought our schedule was really tricky. And
Yeah,
I thought we had some, new coordinators, new quarterback. And, not that I didn't believe in our ability at the end of the year. I thought that we'd be a really tough out at the end of the year, but we're a really tough out. We started a tough out from day one, and we just seem to keep improving. So, I'm seeing nothing about this team that's troubling me, like oh my gosh, we're not the other teams are catching up, or I just think we keep getting better and better. I think we are better every week playing, and that's the best sign of all, and the most encouraging thing for this year to win the national title.
I definitely agree. Keep the pace. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We have a great coach, a great coaching staff who's been there, done that. And so I have the utmost confidence that the deficiencies will be cleaned up and improved, and this team will remain focused because of the leadership and the coaches. That's just my confidence. But listen, another great time with you guys. Chat, excellent comments, excellent super chats. We always love it. Appreciate y'all, Buckeye Scoop family. Glad to be back from Madison. I had a great time, and we're going to have some great coverage for you this week in this bye week. And so we will see y'all tomorrow. Go Bucks. Peace.